Welcome back, one and all. This will be on YouTube, but I have exclusive content that I will be putting only on Rumble and only on Patreon and exclusively on Kick. So if you want to check it out, I will put the links into the description of this video and also into the community tab so you can go and follow me over there. But to get to more important and fun matters. Yeah, I lied. I couldn't keep my mouth shut. You guys already know who I'm talking about based off the title of this video. You guys already know who I'm going to be razzing and destroying today. So, without any further ado, let's see what this guy has to say. The title of the video, as you can see, is Colonel McGregor, Trump averted a crisis. Let's see what is being said here, and then we'll break it down piece by piece. I can already guarantee that this guy's going to lie a whole lot. So let's see what he says.
The entire Western establishment is up in arms right now, freaking out about the fact that new leaked recordings allegedly showing Donald Trump admitting to having classified documents
Not alleged.
should essentially land him in prison, make him ineligible to run for president, even though you can run for president from prison and he'd probably still win even if he was in prison. And that this vindicates everything that everyone has been saying about Donald Trump having these.
I wonder how far the RNC has their hand up his ass for him to say that. Like, how deep does the rabbit hole go that, like, I'm genuinely curious. Like, how much money is this guy getting paid for them to constantly get a rah-rah cheerleader for Donald Trump? Even credit to him. I can't believe that I'm going to say this. Even fucking Jimmy Dore sometimes will blur the lines a little bit and still be like, yeah, there's some points I don't like Donald Trump, but I kind of fuck with Donald Trump. But I don't want to flat out say that I fuck with Donald Trump. No, see, Jackson Hinkle, Jackson Hinkle is, in his own words, a clout chaser. And I guess for some fucking reason, the money right now is siding with Donald Trump. That's where the money is at. I mean, listen, you guys know I'm no fan of Joe Biden, but I would much rather be talking about, like, if someone held a gun to my head and was like, would you rather Biden or Trump? I think just based off of policy alone, I mean, they basically have the same policy. But I think Biden's just a smidge bit better than him on certain policy. So that's not me saying that I think that, like, Joe Biden's a perfect president. I have so far, I would give his presidency like a C- rating, right? But the problem is that there's no honesty here from Jackson Hinkle. You have to be honest when you're commentating. You have to be like, yeah, you know what? Trump is corrupt, but fuck it, I support him. It's like me, like Marianne Williamson. She's not corrupt, but I'll say fuck it. I stick with her. Fuck it. Jackson Hinkle can't do that though because the RNC is paying him money. Simple as that. That's the only logical explanation.
Classified documents and showing them and being, having wanton disregard for the safety of American troops and whatnot, and American classified secrets by just showing them around and showing them off, because that's what he does with classified things. Okay. Now, I'm going to debunk this within, how long do you think this is going to take me to debunk? 10 minutes, 15 minutes? I'm going to debunk this over the next several minutes of this video and show you why it's so ludicrous that these people are coming out and saying this. first, I have to make the point. Do you all remember what the Trump impeachment was over? The main impeachment was over?
Okay, first of all, what does that got to do with the fact that Trump admitted on tape to literally having the documents?
Well, with Milley, let me see that. I'll show you an example. He said that I wanted to attack Iran. Isn't it amazing? I have a big pile of papers. This thing just came up. Look. This was him. They presented me this. This is off the record, but they presented me this. This was him. This was the Defense Department and him. I just found, isn't that amazing? This totally wins my case, you know. Mm-hmm. Except it is like highly confidential, secret. This is secret information. See, as president, I could have declassified it. Now I can't, you know, but this is classified.
Holy shit, he says it right there.
Yeah. What it appears to be is the tape that's described.
I don't care about you, Rachel Maddow. Holy. Trump admitted to having documents on tape. Yo. Oh my God, bro. Listen, y'all better like and subscribe because I gotta suffer through listening to Jackson Hinkle talk for another 10 minutes. This is egregious. But hold on a second. Sorry, I have to go back to full screen.
The one that they almost actually went through with, the Ukraine one. Trump said, I'm not going to supply Ukraine with these Javelin missiles. He tried to hold the Obama era line. The Obama era line was, I'm not going, and yeah, I know, I get it. Obama, you don't like Obama. I don't like Obama either. But the Obama era policy regarding Ukraine was, I do not want to escalate this situation with Russia. If we start arming them to the teeth with, heavy artillery, we are going to escalate the situation. We're going to cause Russia. We're going to provoke Russia into some sort of a war, civil war, whatever it may look like. Obama was the one saying that.
So basically what you're saying is that if Trump was still in office, the Ukraine war wouldn't be happening, but I sincerely doubt that. Putin was going to invade either way, especially because Biden's a weak-ass little bitch boy, but Trump's a weak-ass little bitch boy too. Trump talks the talk, but he doesn't do shit about anything. So, yeah, heavy disagree here.
This. That's why he did not want to supply Ukraine with all this heavy artillery.
Okay.
He even came out and said, Crimea, historically Russian. You got a bunch of pro-Russians there. They mostly speak Russian. Okay, so Obama knew that there was a line. Trump tried to maintain that line. He said, I don't want to send these javelins. And because he didn't want to send the javelins, what did they do? They impeached him. That's how committed they are.
That's not why. Listen, I didn't agree with the Trump impeachment, but that's not why they wanted to impeach him. They wanted to impeach him because he asked for dirt on Joe Biden, which, granted, there shouldn't have been dirt on Joe Biden to be had. But they wanted to impeach him because he asked for dirt on Joe Biden. Trump did whatever the military-industrial complex told him to do. Don't even make up any lies, Jackson. You know that to be true because you said it on a live stream on September 27th, 2020. You said, and I quote, Donald Trump listened to what the military-industrial complex told him, so I don't blame him for what happened. You said that. You said that. You said that. So, I mean, what am I supposed to make of this?
To supporting Ukraine, trying to take Russia to war, they said, we'll just blow up the entire veneer of democracy that we have here in the United States. We'll impeach and remove Trump and get someone in office like Pence, who will. Pence is, where Pence was just yesterday? The vice president under Trump, he was meeting with Zelensky in Ukraine just yesterday or 2 days ago. I saw a video of it. So they literally...
Is there proof of that? Hold on. Meeting with Zelensky. Hold on. June 20th. Mike Pence meets with President Zelensky in Kyiv. Okay. All right. So Pence actually is right for once. He's actually based. He is on the side of Ukraine. Oh, good. Good. Perfect. Wonderful. Good. That's dope. That's dope. That's it. Wow. For once, Jackson is telling the truth, but I kind of want to see how he actually spins this shit. Hold on. I'm kind of curious how he'll spin this.
We're trying to get Trump out so they could get the javelins and other heavy artillery over to
That's not why.
Ukraine. Okay. Now, the classified document saga, it rings a similar tone. Okay, so Trump wasn't pro-war enough for Ukraine, so they tried to impeach him. Now,
Trump wasn't pro-war. What the fuck are you talking about? Trump was... Oh my God. Trump kept our soldiers in Afghanistan. And then Biden walked into the office, flexed on that motherfucker, and said, no, we're getting out. Trump isn't pro-war. Oh my God, bro. Yo, I don't do drugs, but I want what Jackson's on because I need some of that Zaza in my life.
They're going to try to lock Trump in prison because, as you'll hear in these leaked audio recordings, you're going to have clips allegedly showing Trump with the documents, saying, Milley wanted to go to war with Iran, and I said no, and I stopped the war with Iran. So they're telling you that because he has classified documents purporting to show Milley's plan to go to war with Iran, and he stopped that makes him a bad guy. Because he stopped.
No, that's not why. Because he had documents that he had no business having. That's why. That's why. Tell the truth. That's why. And you want to know something? Biden shouldn't have had them either. But at least, credit to him, he admitted to having them and handed them over. Okay? Trump shouldn't have had the documents. He's no longer in office. Why did he need classified documents? Also, I guarantee that Johnson's not going to mention that Trump, if you read the PDF, I'm not kidding, Trump literally showed our secrets to the Saudis. They paid to see our secrets. But Jackson's not going to mention that because Jackson is deep in the RNC bubble and he has to protect the narrative that he's paid to say.
War with Iran. And by the way, that took place at...
I don't get paid. I say the truth. And I do this for free because I want to bring you, the people, the truth.
The discretion of and the sincere persuasion of Tucker Carlson. Tucker Carlson was the guy who said when Trump bombed Qasem Soleimani, that was the worst thing probably Trump ever did, was bomb Qasem Soleimani, the man who was taking out Daesh and ISIS and Al-Qaeda.
Nah, I think the worst thing Trump ever did was take money from the Saudis who helped Al-Qaeda do 9/11. I think that was the worst thing. I'm not for violence, but he didn't even bat an eye when Khashoggi was murdered. I guess we have different standards.
All these groups. When Trump bombed Qasem Soleimani, Tucker Carlson condemned him and made public and private
he was right.
pleas to Donald Trump to not go to war with Iran. And people like Milley, people like Pompeo, people like Bolton, all of these non-MAGA aligned individuals who found themselves for varying periods of time within the Trump administration all tried to get Trump to go to war with Iran. He stopped it. And now the media is telling you that you should hate Trump and want him to go to prison because he has classified documents showing that he stopped the war with Iran. So
that's not what I don't defend the media, obviously, because I'm here. But That's not the reason why is because he had the classified documents. That's why. That's why. Because he's not allowed to have them. Now, the media is going overboard with it, as usual, like they do with everything. But the bottom line is that he was not allowed to have the documents. It was illegal for him to have them. That's why this is a big deal. My God. Dense.
So the people who are trying to take us to war with Iran, like Milley, like Pompeo, Bolton, they're good guys. They're not doing anything wrong. The guys who tried to start a war with Iran out of nowhere for nothing over claims that they were developing their nuclear capacity to make bombs, the guys that were imposing Caesar sanction or the sanctions on Iran over claims that they were working with Al-Qaeda, which doesn't even make sense because Al-Qaeda is fundamentally opposed to the Shia theocracy that is Iran. They're trying to tell you that all these lies to take you to war with Iran. So they're good guys, but Trump, the guy who stops the war with Iran, is somehow a bad guy. Take a listen.
Hold on a second. Just out of curiosity, when did the U.S. pull out of the Iran deal? Ah, well, would you look at that? You not say anything more? Let's continue.
Listen, this is incredible.
My man gets ads.
This game.
Oh my God, I don't even Jackson Hinkle.
You're not ready for it.
Off of me. I don't give a shit.
These are bad, sick people.
That was your coup, against you.
Well, it started right at the
Like when
beginning.
Milley's talking about, you were going to try to do a coup. No, they were trying to do that before you even were sworn in. That's right. Trying to overthrow your election.
Well, with Milley, let me see that. I'll show you an example. He said that I wanted to attack Iran. Isn't it amazing? I have a big pile of papers. This thing just came up. Look. This was him. They presented me this. This is off the record, but they presented me this. This was him. This was the Defense Department and him. We looked at him. This was him. This wasn't done by me. This was him. All sorts of stuff. It's pages long. Look.
I feel sorry for that dog.
Wait a minute. Let's see here.
Yeah.
I just found, isn't that amazing? This totally wins my case,
Mm-hmm.
Except it is like highly confidential.
Yeah.
Secret.
Oh shit!
This-
How can he look at that and defend that? That's really what I want to know. Like, what the fuck, bro? What?
This is secret information. Look at this. You attack, and
Hillary would print that out all the time.
she'd send
Private
it,
email.
she'd send it to.
Hillary was never the president of the United States. And yes, she had classified documents. Sure, I get that. And Hillary should have been tried and locked up for many numerous things. But the key difference here is that for all of her flaws, at least Hillary went through the trial and actually admitted to it. And she, you know what? Yeah, it could have been fake, but she admitted that she made a mistake, which is something that Trump hasn't been able to do. And you see me, someone who I guess kind of because I'm a registered Democrat, I guess I'm on the same side as Hillary Clinton. I guess maybe, but you don't see me here defending Hillary Clinton and going to bat for her. She's a piece of shit, but at the very least, she admitted that she made a mistake. That's something that Trump can't do. But Jackson's the rah-rah cheerleader because the RNC pays him money.
Anthony Weiner,
Yeah.
the pervert. By the way, isn't that incredible?
Yeah.
I was just saying because we were talking about it, and he said he wanted to attack Iran and what? These are the papers.
Just throw his dog. Hold on,
This is
yo.
done by the military, given to me. To attack Iran and what? These are the papers.
Jumped up. How's it make
This was
it?
done by the military, given to me. I think we can probably get it.
I don't know. We'll have to see. Yeah, we'll have to try to figure out
Declassified.
There we go. Right here. Declassified. Boom, 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 boom. That's it right there. Case closed. Game, set, match. Let's go home.
Yeah.
See, as president, I could have declassified.
Yeah.
Now I can't, but this is
Yeah,
classified.
now we have a problem.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
It's so cool. I mean, it's so, we heard I have, and you probably almost didn't believe me, but now you believe me.
No, I believe
It's
it.
incredible, right?
No,
Hey, bring some Cokes in, please.
Drink water.
Bring some Cokes in, please. I love they kept that last part in. So anyways, they're trying to tell you that Trump is like the guy worthy of being in jail because he has some documents and whatever. He showed one of his coworkers.
Yeah.
But Milley, Bolton, Pompeo, the guys who started the war for the military-industrial complex and for Israel, or tried to start the war for the military-industrial complex in Israel against Iran, they're fine?
No. Well, CNN might say so, but no. They should be in prison too. It's just that they, at least to the public knowledge, have not shown classified documents to the Saudis when they're not in office. That's the key difference. That's what I keep saying. If Trump was in office, I would actually be defending him. But he's not president. So he shouldn't be showing this shit to just random people willy-nilly. Like, what if that lady that he was talking to took a fucking picture and sent it to someone, and then that person sent it, and then it got into the wrong hands? What if that happened? Because Trump can't just he has to wag his dick everywhere that he fucking goes, and he can't just keep his ego in check, and he has to show, oh, look, I had classified documents. Like, motherfucker admits to it on tape, and Jackson Hinkle finds a way to actually defend him. That is wild to me. That is actually crazy. That's actually crazy. Fuck you.
You got no problems with them? Like me, if I was in the press right now, if I was sitting at CNN or MSNBC, here's what my monologue would be the very night that this video came out or this audio came out. I'd say, wow, isn't that something? These audio recordings allegedly show that General Mark Milley was preparing a war against Iran, something that the overwhelming majority of Americans definitively oppose, and something that seems to have absolutely zero strategic interest for the United States other than for the military-industrial complex and our good friends in Israel. Why on earth is General Milley still at the head of the military if he is out there crafting war plans against Iran for no other reason than it benefits one of our foreign allies? Iran did nothing wrong other than having their own sovereignty, their own oil, working with Russia and China and Venezuela. So why on earth would he want to take us?
Well, it's good to know that Jackson supports authoritarian dictators. It's good to know that. It's good to know.
To war with Iran. Is there any definitive reason he can provide as to how Iran was risking our national security? Because from what we understand, Iran was saving the world from Al-Qaeda and ISIS. So what is it? Why did General Milley want to go to war against Iran? That would be my line of questioning. I'd say, well, if those documents are real, okay, what's good? I'd probably bring on someone like Colonel Douglas McGregor if I was on the mainstream media to talk about this because he had internal knowledge. Thank goodness for us, he did talk about this. Let's hear what he had to say.
Before we do anything, we should ask ourselves, what do we gain and what do we lose? Is the gain worth the loss? Now, that seems very simple, but people don't do it. And that's why President Trump's position was so vital and essential in June of 2019 when he was presented with a fait accompli. General McKenzie and CENTCOM had sent this global hawk on the outskirts of the air defense identification zone that belonged to Iran, right up the center of the Persian Gulf, knowing full well that the Iranians would probably shoot it down. And gosh, we had a strike package ready to go. Air Force, Army, missiles, everything you can think of, Navy, strike package ready to launch. And sure enough, they shot the Global Hawk down. And suddenly the entire Joint Staff descends upon the White House. The War Council is held. Sir, we're ready to launch the strike package. And Donald Trump sits there and says, well, why? Was this a manned aircraft? Was this a deliberate provocation? And he just went through and asked these questions. They said, well, it was unmanned.
Trump was too busy taking dick from the Saudi crown prince at this time. That's probably why.
So you're telling me no one was hurt? No, no one was hurt. And how many people are we going to kill with this strike package that you want to put together? Well, they started adding up the numbers and they got up to a few hundred. And he said, then what happens? No, he said, no, it's over. I'm not going to do it. Thank you very much. But we know that Bolton at the time was the national security advisor, General McKenzie, I'm told Secretary of State Pompeo.
This is it's literally this is the only example that these people bring up for Trump being anti-war, when he literally kept our soldiers in Afghanistan, kept the Iraq war going. Also is partly the reason why there's a genocide going on in Yemen. Like, just there's more examples for why Trump is pro-war than why Trump is not pro-war. Just saying. Keep it real. Keep it on, though.
Pompeo, they were all cheering, let's go, let's get this done. Finally, we get the war we want with Iran. So fortunately, he was there to say no.
Fortunately, he was there to say no, but the media,
My Lord Bebo is on Telegram. Man, this is definitely a pedo.
wants you to believe that Trump, the guy that said no and stopped this war from ever happening, is the bad guy and the guy that deserves to be in prison and the guy that should not be your president in 2024.
You're damn right.
Makes you think.
You are damn right he should not be president. Now, sorry, this has been a little bit of a long video, and I've been ranting for a little bit. But, look, gotta keep it real. Trump's most likely going to be the nominee. Bottom line. DeSantis has a shot, but it's most likely going to be Trump. And I'm going to put something over on my Rumble later as to why I think that Trump can't win a general election. But I got to say that I don't think that Jackson truly understands who he's hitching his wagon to. Trump is the guy who, when he was in office, took money from the country that was responsible for the funding of 9/11. Now, Jackson, being the he's stupid and smart at the same time. Being the stupid and smart individual that he is, definitely knows that, but chooses to ignore it because the RNC tells him, "Listen, we'll pay for that mansion of yours. We'll pay for you to move to Florida. We'll pay for this and we'll pay for that. Just continue to say our narrative." And you want to know something? Jackson definitely does. Because Jackson doesn't care about the truth. All he does is narrative hump. Because he has no true ideology. Jackson's ideology is making money by being dishonest towards people and riding a wave that honestly is going to die out in like 2 to 3 years. And I guarantee you that Jackson Hinkle is going to be back to being a progressive in 3 years. Guarantee. Once all that money dries up and he's fucking homeless, living on the street with his fucking OnlyFans girlfriend, I guarantee you. Oh no, actually, she'll leave him and she'll come be with me. Because in 3 years from now, I'm going to be living in my own house and rich and shit like that. So, yeah. But bottom line is that you can't trust this guy because he is self-admitted a cloud chaser. He's getting paid to say narratives, and it's just another prime example of why we need a new voice to tell people the truth. Now, I'm not perfect. By no means am I perfect. But the one thing that I think I am is honest, and I will never lie to you. Jackson Hinkle does not care about you. He cares about your money first. That's it. Simple. That's just the absolute truth. Until next time, it's been real. Love y'all. RRG out. Peace.